Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
And I'm Z Garcia.
Welcome to a double episode.
What?
Hi, I'm here twice.
That's why there's so many.
There
Z
is.
Garcia.
Because
It's
next
a
week.
crazy week.
Next week is American Thanksgiving.
Oh.
And therefore, we will not be doing crowdsurfing, so we're doing it early, which is unfortunate because so many big projects, only one pick of the week. You
Nope,
can't
we
do
get
a
two this
tie.
week.
You do not.
How come we don't get two
I agree.
when
We
it's
should get
2
two.
weeks? Or how about, even better than that, none?
I've had one pick of the week, yes. But what about second pick of the week?
You're allowed. You're allowed to say no always.
You can mash them, boil them,
We
stick
want to
2
say
picks
thanks
in a
to
week
some
in a
of
stew.
our
We can do
Kickstarter
it.
backers. We want to say thank you to Martine Clairbot,
Thank you.
a man
Yes.
of the meeple, to Brent Wayne Waters and Hope Waters, to Chantel Poissant and Kevin LeMay from Montreal,
Ooh,
to
Montreal.
Joey and Miranda,
Good name.
to Juan Carlos and Allison,
Juan Carlos.
to the Carpenter family. Thank you for
They
your
make
songs.
the best
skip one.
furniture.
Alan Rickelson,
There we go.
Tom Hazel,
Hey.
and Semamish, Washington for supporting us. Doug Stafford
Nice.
and Spencer Brustet, animal board game
Do it.
lover.
Yeah, it's okay.
Was
He's
that
a
the
board
tough
game
word?
lover. Why'd you have to make that incredibly weird with the longest pause I've ever...
Because I wrote hour here, and I don't know
Scene.
why the word hour. You can't be a board game hour.
Oh, you were like, what does that say? Lover. Got
Board
it.
game hour? What do you
I'm
mean?
not even sure that's right. All right, well, you know what it's.
Well,
too
now
late.
he's a board game lover. All right. Thank you for sponsoring and helping us.
Anyhow, this episode is also sponsored by Gamefound. We take a look at a project each week. Let's take a look at a project set in the future. Hey folks, today we're taking a look at Vestige from Orange Nebula. This is a strategic game, an hour-long game that's built around a resource alchemy system, built around the color wheel, and it is a futuristic sci-fi style game. And if you think it looks familiar, that makes sense because it is based on the game Vindication. Now this is a different game. It comes in this Wretched edition and a Swanky edition. And Vindication, of course, a game that I love quite a bit. And like I said, it's based around a color wheel. You have these 3 primary attributes: ambition, might, cunning, secondary attributes. And what you're going to do is you're going to be moving around a randomized map and collecting these different resources, and also running into different people who are going to help you and make you stronger through them. Unlocking your potential, using these cubes to get resources. It's a nice little system that runs around. And this has some... Again, you're moving around this board, finding different locations. Each location will give you various things that you can do. But there's some new things in here. Non-player opponents called your nemesis. So you're going to fight up against these nemesis. And there's supremacy and gaining advantages. And a lot of this looks very similar to Vindication, although it looks a little bit more streamlined than that. And of course, it is in a future setting. There's also some add-ons and neon playmats and just a lot of stuff. Orange Nebula does a fantastic job with their production. So check this out on Gamefound right now. It's called Vestige.
It doesn't. Yes.
Okay. Well, there you go, folks. We have, like I said, we have a gazillion billion projects to take a look at.
That's a lot.
I knew you'd both respond that way.
Jinx.
So let's get started with some Christmas is coming at the end. Christmas is coming, and we're going to start with some jewelry.
Oh.
I want this bling.
Die ring, the dice ring for gamers. You have a magic ring with 7 mini dice for every tabletop hero. And 100%, this is not going to feel heavy or awkward at all.
Okay.
No, imagine the clinky clankling as you walk around.
They're going to come open. And
No, I
you're
disagree.
going to
At the
lose.
wrong time. You'll be in a business meeting. I said dice roll across. Someone's like, critical failure.
They become your friend
You
forever.
can't wear this every day. You know you can't. You
That's-
wear this when you go to Gen Con.
I
You wear this
agree.
when you go to your, you dress up to play an RPG or something. I think it's a cute idea. I don't like these tiny dice. I've seen similar metal dice in the past.
I don't like this at all.
They just don't. They don't keep the resolution. They don't look good. They're too small.
The ring is too big. Look at that thing.
I agree.
It looks like that guy's about to seal something as an old king. All right, Brom.
That also would work.
Reminds me of Ace Ventura when he could tell who hit him by the ring on the forehead.
Yes.
It was a paladin that punched you.
These are wild.
They're going to sell, though. I bet
they're selling very well.
Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a thing that people are going to get as a gift and then never use.
Right.
This is a cool.
Or you'll wear it once you'll be like, look at this. Look at these dice. And then you'll roll them the first time, ha, ha, ha. And then later an important roll will come and you'll be like, well, actually, here's my dice.
That's unlike my keychain, which has dice and I use all the time. I do not. I've never used it.
You do have it, though.
I
yes?
still have it.
Is it on you right now?
Just
pull out some dice. Roll a D20.
No,
for it.
these are so small. You already saw it, right?
Do you have your wallet on you?
Look right there. Aren't those cute?
Is there dice in it?
Yeah, there are. And they're so new, I keep them in the bag.
Because of the clinky clanketing?
Yeah, that's the thing. They're so loud when you walk.
All right.
Because I sneak up on
Let
them.
me
I'll
see
be
your
buying one of
wallet.
these.
Let me hold your wallet real quick.
I'll keep my wallet.
Let's move the games. All right. Jsogi Anime Studio Tycoon board game. So are you a fan of anime?
Yes.
Are you a board game enthusiast? Is
Yes.
this an either or?
I was very confused here for a good while. In fact, I might still be confused. This is the story, as far as I could tell, they kept talking about this is an anime studio that went under, and now the different properties are being divvied up to different studios, and the whole time I'm like, hold on, is this actually what happened? Is this the theme of the
It says
game?
inspired.
Well, everything's inspired if you try hard enough, but this is the theme is that an anime studio went down and you're trying to revitalize their properties. Kind of like a trading card game that is not a trading card game in another game, right? That's kind of what this was. It was a little confusing at first. I like the look of it. I think it's a very vibrant game. I was just unsure what I was looking at. Maybe I'm just a dummy.
Separating what is... Yeah. The artwork, of course, is on the forefront of this. You can tell by looking.
I'm trying to figure out what the game is about. I mean, they're talking about writing and animating and stuff.
Which in theory sounds great. I mean, I love things like that.
What else have these guys done? Esper Game Studio. The Queen's New Capital. We just played that.
Did we?
That's the deck building game that went on forever.
Did you play with me?
Yeah, we played with Dan and Dan and his wife.
Last night?
This was 2 weeks ago.
My goodness.
It's a deck building game where there was the tracks in the middle and you were trying to keep them balanced.
Yes.
I love how Joey goes, last night?
I know. So I was about to tell him, I wasn't at your table last night.
Joey.
I know. I was like...
Do you remember playing it now?
Yeah, I do.
Has
Did
really
you
gorgeous
love
artwork.
it?
No, because it's too long and it's too much for too little payoff, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's like a deck building game that hopefully you'll get the cards you bought at some point, and I don't know.
It was almost...
This new one, I don't know that first game, the Queen's Capital, their new capital, but this one seems to definitely put up front artwork and the theme. And so maybe that's just kind of the sort of games they make. They make games that look good, that sound cool, and have neat themes. Maybe the game is, secondary.
And anime is one of those, I think I like anime until you're around someone that really likes anime and you realize I apparently do not.
You don't know,
I don't know
that much about it at that point.
It's not someone. Go to a convention. There's millions.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, I'm underqualified to say I enjoy anime.
Amoebunnies, an adorable asymmetrical adventure. That's 5 A's in the title. This is a game that looks like a kid's game. The publisher is very adamant that it is not. And it really isn't. It's closer to a family-style game. What it is you are one of these little Amoebunnies, and you have to go around and accomplish some sort of goal. I played this with my son back a couple years ago at Dice Tower East, and he enjoyed it.
We also played live recently.
Yeah, we did play it live. And it's interesting. I like it fine. I'm not 100% convinced the factions are balanced. They didn't feel particularly balanced. It also feels like, here's the thing. It's pretty light. and there's a lot of rules for each of the different guys. They move differently. They're asymmetrical, but they're not particularly difficult to understand. But the game ends in a reasonable amount of time, so I don't feel like it overstays its welcome, if that makes sense.
I mean, I watched. I was not in the play, and I thought the factions and the different things they did sounded really neat, but it did not. I'm sorry, I just don't get it. It's if the game is not for kids, they sure are trying very hard to make it look like it's for kids.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure I understand why the theme is what it is. Also, amoeba and bunnies together. They look like jellies or something.
Oh,
okay.
that's cute.
That's cute. The title is a mouthful a little bit, and then the look is very, very, very kiddie. Like, it's not like kid-friendly. This looks like I want to buy the plushies.
Right.
Like, and so if the game isn't that, then I don't understand why you make the push for it to look like this. I just don't. I mean, again, I'm speaking from a place of ignorance here. I haven't played the game. Not sure.
It's an odd decision when you look at a game like this, and Tom's complaint is, I'm not sure if the factions are balanced. When you look at a game like this, I would not think that's going to be what
Right.
you wonder.
Well, but I don't know that it's that big of a deal either.
Well, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that it has the complexity to be able to say that. Kind of like, what was the game Eric Summerer walked around with the wand, and he kept playing all the time? It looks like a kid's card deck building game, but very family looking, but it's got complexity to it. So I don't know. It's a different... It's interesting.
It's
but apparently
interesting,
kids can
but
play it.
They're not, it's 100% though a family game.
Okay.
It is very light's a strong word, but it's definitely lighter than a lot of other games.
This might be a good one for your younger kids to grow with. Maybe that's a good way to view this game. You have a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, I don't know. They can learn this game now, but they can get good at it as they play throughout the years.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they appreciate it for the look now. They'll appreciate it for the mechanisms later.
That makes sense.
They'll probably resent you for making them play your games.
It's going to happen anyway.
All right. Animalcatraz.
This is far.
Okay. I don't know if you're being sarcastic, but the fact that you can put an electric chair, a shank, and they just use the word Ameritrash at the beginning. All of this.
This is so amazing. This is the most Ameritrash trash I've seen in a long time.
But you can now talk about shanks and electric chairs, but you know what? They're animals, so it's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
This is the time to use those.
Okay, so let's read the quote. Man vs. Meeple. There's a variety of ways you can play this game. That's not a strong quote. Just
It's true.
That would be like a
Puzzle
quote
Strike,
for chess.
that's the
A
one.
quote for chess that says, the pieces move differently. Yep.
And then Devin says, an intriguing, unique, and very visually memorable experience.
Visually memorable. I will remember this for a long time.
I don't like this at all.
I
I don't
figured
love
you would,
this.
and it's super adult. It's very, like, I know they're going for, like, this seems like really complicated exploding kittens or something, and I don't mean that mechanically. I mean, like, it's a theme that they have now, like, turned up to 11 in the maturity level. There is, like, heck, there's a first player, the first player token in this is a shank made from a toothbrush.
I know. Look at that.
Yo, man, look at this.
It's so okay, but the whole thing is you're either going to be the kingpin, the king of all the prison, or get out.
Yeah, you collect things, you try to, stash your stuff so you can get out, and you try to avoid, like, drawing attention, or you draw attention, create a riot or something, and become a king. This is whole...
Wait, there's more quotes. The legacy envelopes I peeked in were game-changing.
Because you get tattoos as you go through the legacy thing. Yes, that's actual thing. It's just, I want to play this.
There's somebody out there.
Dude, come on.
There's somebody out there who who is looking at this going, this could easily be my favorite game ever. I'm loving everything about this. This swings for the fences. I got to respect
really
it
does.
for that. They're like, it's going to be about animals in prison, an electric chair, you're shanking fools. You will know if you're not interested immediately.
I agree.
I appreciate that, and I respect it. The game doesn't look particularly good. I'm not sure if it's going to be interesting, but Man, it really goes hog wild.
It does.
All right. Well, nah. Clandestine. What's wrong with me? Say it for me.
Clandestine.
Clandestine.
Oh, man. Okay, that is.
My mind couldn't read the word.
Okay, yeah.
Didn't you all play this one?
Yes.
I was not part of that.
You were not here, I think. And so this one has sort of a, you are trying to get your secret society, not a cult. He made sure that we knew it was not a cult. Trying to get your secret society to the top of the pinnacle of influence, I guess. And so you're moving your people around Mancala style. It has like a Mancala mechanism.
I love that.
It has a lot going on, actually. Playing cards, affecting the things you can do, buying new things. As people walk around this sort of outside street, you can bring them into your own area, and then it's sort of like one big Mancala circle with smaller ones in front of every player. So you bring people in and keep them in there, and sometimes they go out, back out. This is really like clever, interesting thing. I thought all the moving parts were engaging. The game is not that light. There's a lot going on. But the core and the asymmetry in this was really interesting. All the factions kind of do their own thing. Like the one I was playing, they affected the market. There's this market of cards you can affect. Those guys are the ones I was playing, these guys here.
Fisherman.
And yeah, the fisherman, yeah. And so there's all these cards that can play out onto the market board that make things cheaper for me based on where they are, that create new spaces for cards to show up. It's like wild stuff. It's pretty out there.
It has a really good look to it.
I'm a big
fan of the just the
Mancala?
Well, no, like these little classy looking little meeples with vests and stuff. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, cool. This is, again, Brooks spun. The name is not.
He did one I haven't played, but I've heard you guys talk about Legacies.
Now,
Yeah.
Legacies was a big game.
Yeah.
It was a pretty big, impressive.
This had a lot going on too. I've never played Legacies. I doubt as much as Legacies, but yeah, it had a lot going on.
All right, we've all played Flock Together,
Yes.
but we have not played the expansion, which, just in case you're wondering, was funded in 32 minutes. That definitely always makes me want to back, and I'm always going to call out the publishers who do that because I think it's dumb. Anyhow, here's the chickens of the co-op or the coop.
Coop.
It could be co-op.
Words are hard today.
Co-op is legit.
It is.
It works in this game. It's a cooperative game.
I wonder if that's intentional.
That was on purpose that time.
It was for him, not you.
Anyhow, Flock Together, we had a swath of opinions on this, mostly positive on this, and so there's more of it. This game has done very well. I mean, as obvious here from the expansion's also doing tremendously well here on Kickstarter, but I know that it's sold pretty well post-Kickstarter too.
This is interesting because I was not expecting an expansion to this, especially so quickly, and to be, I think it's largely feels like more of the same, more bad guys, more good guys. There's more chickens and more of the baddies. There's already a ton of that stuff in the game. The base game feels chock full of stuff.
It's got a lot. I will say I do like the fact there's just more predators and playable characters. It doesn't seem to overcomplicate. It seems like just give you more content.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you're just like, if you want more of what was there, well, you do get this. You got a few more grubs.
Yeah, I guess the grubs and all that.
And
Hey, more grubs is better because that deck needed some.
I don't know if you get. Do you get new grubs? I know you get new weather. I don't know if you get new grubs.
It says right here.
No, I think you're looking at the base game
No,
at this
24.
point.
Oh, am I?
This is base game. Yeah, you've gone past
I've gone too
the
far.
expansion.
You
dug too
pull
deep.
out. There we go. There we go.
6 new chicken books, 6 new predator books, 3 new weather cards.
Yeah, and that's it. Pretty much that's it.
Now you get some more of these chicken wooden pieces.
All right, you get new colors.
They're not people.
They're cheaples. They're chicken peoples.
Cheaple you. So dumb.
So I don't know. I mean, I like the game. I think it's a really fun game. It's just interesting to see, like, hey, it's just more of the same.
Right.
I guess again, like I said, it makes it easier to know if you want it or not.
Which I like
I
that.
have a lot. I'm good.
I do like they didn't add a 5th player. Seems like every expansion.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
let's give you a 5th player. It's like
Why not, right? Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
Like, okay.
Buy 2 copies,
So-
go to 8.
The weather
that's the
cards.
thing. It's
I like
like-
the new weather cards for sure. That's going to add some nice variety. And of course, yes, the
Weather's
monsters
mean.
and the characters and all that. My point being, if you haven't checked out the base game,
Yeah,
that has a lot of content in it already. So
a whole lot.
I recommend the base game.
Got a quote.
I do have a quote on there.
Flock Together is a game. No, it says it's great. Alrighty, so that is Flock Together. Before we go to our next project, we have a word from our friend Mark.
Streed. Go ahead, Joe. Streed.
Streed?
Yeah.
This spotlight is brought to you by Park Life, a celebration of parks and cute hedgehogs. Park Life is a series of engaging hand management card games about careful timing. You are a merchant in a bustling park, navigating ever-changing weather, underbid your rivals, and carefully balance your supplies. Every sale you win costs you cards from your hand, adding weight to your choices and allowing others to have dramatic comeback. And with different decks to choose from and mixed together, there's always a new twist to enjoy. The Hedgehog Edition deck is streamlined for families with only number cards featuring adorable hedgehogs. The People Edition adds set collecting and tableau building that rewards you for planning with unique art on almost every card. It's a solid strategy game in a small package. And the excitement doesn't stop there. The new Storm expansion shakes things up with disaster warnings, lightning and fireworks cards, and new strategies to master. The Deluxe Hedgehog Box adds high-powered cards featuring jerboas, quokkas, and koalas, pushing you to balance risk and reward. The Deluxe People Box introduces berry meeples for protecting your hand, beautiful wild cards, and 2x set cards to shoot the moon even more. With a well-developed automata for solo and co-op and competitive play for up to 8 players when all shuffled together, Park Life builds a whole world on top of an easy-to-learn premise, giving endless replayability no matter the addition or expansion. The question remains, will you outplay, outscore, and outshine the competition? Adventure awaits in Park Life. For more information, please check out Park Life, now available on Backerkit.
Okay, this next one is not a board game, but it is related to a board game, so I thought I'd just give it a quick mention, and that's Thunder Road Vendetta RPG.
Thunder Road.
Coming with your own can of spray paint.
This was.
Does this interest you like a
fully
Mad
on-
Max?
No. This was so unexpected. It does not, because I don't think this would be an interesting setting to do an entire role-playing session in, personally.
I agree. I think if I wanted to do something like this, I would go to Gaslands or something like that. It's not an RPG
It's
per
a
se.
miniatures game.
It is, but it gives me, I don't know, an RPG with, I don't understand how it would work.
Well, these guys worked earlier with Restoration Games, and they did Return to Dark Tower, and that is an interesting world.
It is.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of interesting things. This is, well, Mad Max, for lack of better words. Then you're like, well, we'll simulate driving cars. I'm like, sure. So let's just
Play the
pull
game.
out the board game and play it.
Yeah. It just seems like, again, everything in between. You walk up to some guy and you meet him, and he's like, I have a mission for you kids.
Does it involve driving?
And then you're driving somewhere, right? It's like, all right, yeah. And then you get there, and along the way, you're chased. And you know what you do? Driving. You drive again, and you shoot each other. And it's like, yeah, I get it. That's what you do in the board game. I can just imagine that story for myself.
I guess I'd rather see like story cards or campaign cards with Thunder Road, you know, like in between.
Yeah, that'd be fun. That would be
Yeah.
cool, like a campaign built around.
Yeah, you start
Thunder
with weapons.
Road.
Yeah. Oh, I would do that.
What do you think of this dice car?
Oh, it's a concept. No way that can exist.
No, but I was thinking this would be an interesting game where you have cars that drive around a track, and every once in a while you pick up the
Oh, and
top
look
of
at
the
what you
car
have.
and see what the die is.
Well, you can see it through the thing right now, but
you can?
I get what you're
Ooh.
saying. You can see it through the hood.
In concept.
That's wild.
Can you back just for the cars? You can. I might do that.
You might need that. Then we can do.
How many do I get? Oh, just one?
Yeah, well, it's made from a car, Tom. You're glad they can even do this.
Yeah.
Oh, it includes the other dice too. I just want the car. All right, well, whatever.
As of now, it's only a concept.
More dice. Mushroom resin dice. A fairy tale in your hand.
Yeah.
These are so weird and so illegible.
I tell you that, but I'll tell you, my
Keep
biggest
going.
impression here was whoever took these pictures is pretty amazing.
Yeah, they're good
These are
pictures.
amazing pictures.
They are.
Keep going. You're gonna get to the best one. It's there.
All right, hang on.
That's not a bad one.
Realistic?
No.
Fairy tale sheep?
Let's just throw sheep in there.
What's your favorite?
Cheese?
Keep going. Nope. Oh, you're so close.
I really like these cheese
I
dice.
do, too. Those are
all
re-
they do is put black numbers on there, and that'd be great.
Yeah, I can't even. I
Yeah.
didn't even know they had numbers. So look at the big one. There it is.
What is it? An eyeball?
It is a coffee cup.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh,
That's-
buddy.
Those are not great. You know what? They could have dropped the coffee cup
No.
and just made coffee dice with that bottom half and filled the whole thing with coffee.
I'd
That would have
been
looked
good with
pretty
that.
good.
Especially if it was liquid coffee. Stays
Like
hot.
a liquid core.
The
Yeah.
coffee bean dice,
Those are cool.
red wine dice.
Ooh, those are busy.
They're
Why did you
so,
pick yellow? Why did you pick yellow
They're
for this?
just. I don't get it. They're so hard to read.
Not those.
Those.
terrible.
Okay,
Those are,
kind
yeah.
of.
With a striped galaxy. Oh, those are
Goodness.
nice.
They're nice. I want these cheese dice.
I can't even see the numbers.
Well,
on
I think you
those.
could ink them with black.
Yeah, or they could. I'm just throwing things out there.
All right. Shadow Moon Syndicates, the board game. Now, is this based on something?
I couldn't figure that out. I don't think it is.
Because this looks almost like the cover of a book. Or,
Yeah,
or
like
a
a-
movie that went straight to VHS.
It has that sort of like this is a comic book you're not aware of look.
Right.
You know, like this is a manga or a comic book and you don't know
Maybe
anything
someone
about.
in chat knows.
Yeah, if you
because-
do know, let me know. It's from Arcus, which is neat.
Dreadful
they did
Meadows.
Dreadful Meadows, and they did that one that hasn't come out yet, which was the storm and the sort of what is it?
Post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
whatever it is.
Storm Raiders or something
Yes.
like that.
Yeah.
And so this has a similar look. In fact, the board has a similar look. It's a round board, chopped up into different areas. The gameplay, I had a hard time understanding. It seems like it's a lot of area control.
Yeah.
And it seems like you do a lot of card play and card management. I love the look of this. I was having a hard time figuring out how to play a little more succinctly, I guess.
The artwork on here, the guy, I guess the artwork, they did like films like Dune and then Ghost in the Shell, a lot of those
Yeah.
type of things.
Yeah.
So it looks gorgeous. I know you probably don't like this style, Tom.
No, not really. I mean, I don't hate it either, but I don't really love it that much. But I will say these guys, their production is always top notch
Yeah.
in their games. So
Yeah, I'm hoping this is a good one. I really like the look. Absolutely. It's got that cyberpunk, the red and yellow. It's almost like a pink, hot red, pink kind of look.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it feels like a book I've read from the 70s
it's
almost.
a good look. I like their palette here.
So you like this Crime Syndicate era more than like the Godfather era and all that, just because it's different, right?
What do you mean?
Like as far as like, it seems like a very mobster style game, the Crime Syndicate
It's
thing.
like cyberpunk mobstery.
Yeah.
It looks to be some area control on that board, some card play, some asymmetry. Again, I wasn't getting a real good feel.
Yeah.
I didn't dig that deep into this one, but I like the look a lot. Like if this is one I walk by at a convention and it's available, I can actually look and see and watch somebody play. Yeah, 100%. This is catching my eye. I'm just having a hard time, and this happens a lot. I get it. It's Kickstarter where they put that look of whatever and the bits, and this is what you get, and this is how much,
Yeah.
and they put that first. But it's also second and third and fourth and fifth. And then sixth is gameplay. We'll show you a couple screens about gameplay. Anyway,
Right.
look at the look. Blah, blah, blah,
Well, Sean Phillips is involved with this company,
Like,
people
all
are
right.
saying. I don't know
Yeah.
how exactly.
Well, he designed the Storm Raiders game that came
Right.
out that is the one they kickstarted before this. And that also has a really good look.
Yeah, which you and Camille
Oh,
like
yeah,
that.
you were very
That
excited about that
yeah,
one.
you guys-
yeah.
I like Shelfie Stacker fine. I thought Dreadful
haven't played that
Meadows was okay. So, what? Theme is not everything, sir.
99%.
Vanguard Normandy. This is a game that's doing very
one.
well. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on in here. Bag
that's
pull activations, detailed minis. I mean, the minis is probably helping, but it's
I like the look of this. This looks like the perfect blend between a war game and a board game.
wow. This looks like Tide of Iron, frankly, and how it looks. And I think the looks are swinging a lot of it through. You get to play with your little
Look at that
old
mini.
army men.
Look at that
Well,
mini.
the guy
It's so
raising his
weird.
hand.
When it's like based on a real photo. I was looking at this and going like,
That's
it's a little iffy. I don't love that. It's clearly a real picture, clearly a tense moment, and then right in front of it, they got these goofily proportioned miniature to represent that, and I'm like,
how they chose that miniature to.
yeah.
Yeah, like
okay.
what's that miniature good for?
That's the thing. It's got to be like a first player token or something.
Maybe, but the rest of this does look pretty interesting.
I think
It doesn't
looks
look
good.
super light, but it also doesn't look dry and boring.
Yeah.
No, I like bag pulling activations. I don't know why. I think that's fun. And I like, yeah, it looks very simple as far as like look at the cards, see what you can do.
All right.
It's neat.
Star Trek Murder Mystery and Escape Room games.
Yeah, this.
Who killed Picard? I don't think Picard dies.
Paramount did. This Beatles of Grimm. Their production quality is really good.
Sure. I mean, and I'm curious. I mean, obviously, everyone who's involved in a murder mystery has to be someone who is not super canon.
Right. Yeah.
You're not going to be like, did Riker kill Picard? No.
Right.
Even the captain guy, which I don't think I've watched enough Picard to know who he is, but the actor that is there is the one that dies. They do use the augmented reality, which I'm like, I'm interested to see how that's being used.
I'm worried there's too much text here. That is this is
a lot of
this
text.
is less escape room than one of those. You know, you get the envelope and it's full of all these letters and newspaper clippings, and you're like, oh, I gotta
Yes.
put this all together.
How to Catch a Killer in
Right.
space. It's kind of what this feels like.
It does. I'm hoping it's more of a box one surprise, but I don't know.
It's doing well, but
It's
it's also
doing-
Star Trek.
It's doing really well for how niche this is.
It really
Because
is.
this is murder mystery. Who
I don't think
done
murder
it?
mysteries are as niche as you think, though. A lot of people like that.
Star Trek
That's
on Kickstarter. It's a pretty there's a few layers here. I don't know. I guess I don't like mixing things necessarily as much, but maybe people love this idea of it's a murder mystery that we get together and solve puzzles and what have you. But it's Star Trek. That'll get my friends into it. Maybe that's
Mike
Yeah.
says it
Maybe
needs
that's
more
a thing.
Dorn. So, all right, Glass Garden, Button Shy. Does Button Shy have a monthly Kickstarter at this point?
I believe so.
I got to.
I think it is a monthly thing. I don't know if it's always a Kickstarter. I think they come up with a monthly game. I don't think they're always.
I feel like we're talking
crowdfunding.
about them almost every month, though.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a solo one. Looks okay.
The terrarium thing, the plant, the animal goes across there. It's cute.
Yeah, it looks cute. I've liked.
That's a lot of rules for a little game.
Yeah. Some of their other recent solo games, I feel have caught my eye more than this one.
Yeah.
So,
I like the theme of it a lot, though.
yeah.
Terrarium things?
Yeah, I do. I like terrariums.
Yeah, I do too.
Tricky Time Crisis, Dawn of the Trick Takers. This is a follow-up to Tricky Time Crisis, and this is from, what's the company here? This is
Barron.
Jonathan Barron. He's the
Yeah,
trick-taking
John,
guy.
yeah.
So, unfortunately, he says he doesn't have the same artist as the first one.
Right.
He says
And
that
this
here at
is,
the top.
this is four games, right? This whole thing.
Yeah.
So you're getting the dice game. You're getting, this is not from him, but he's publishing it. Trick taking, I believe, I think it's trick taking, and then Time Crisis.
You talk about a game that looks like it's for kids, Z.
Yeah.
This one is that 10 times over. This looks
Yeah.
like my little first Old Maid.
It's like
I agree.
Ghost Love
It's not
Candy
a
2
not
style
a.
of artwork.
I don't know who it's for, but it looks like it's for children. Yeah.
And then you go to this one. I like the graphic design, but I don't love the art. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe it would grow on me. Power Tricks. I don't like that.
He-Man look.
The 1980s.
That is
thing.
He-Man.
Yeah,
That's like really.
100%. So this one is a trick taking
This
game.
is 1 through 9. So you have the different
Yeah,
suits
different
here. It looks like there's
suits.
more blue than there's fewer orange.
Yep.
Each trick, one power of the sword is available for players to take. It's a bonus after you take one.
This one even has a little campaign, which I thought was wild. That power one.
I don't know. I mean, we're kind of reaching peak trick taking at this point. There's so many of them.
Yeah.
I kind of wish, he said he didn't get the same artist as the last one. I kind of wish he would have done it because I'm not loving the art that much.
I think he's talking only about Tricky Time Crisis, though.
Yeah, I know, but then Tricky Time Crisis I don't know. I'm just saying I don't love the art on these. They look indie, all of them.
Yes, but they are very indie. I think soon we are going to get to the point that we talk about these very indie trick-taking card game projects the same way we do when like a old school war games project comes up and we go, this is for someone who loves these kinds of things.
Oh, because of saturation?
Anyway, we don't have anything else to say. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we don't know. The trick-taking games have like, they're exploding. There are so many. There are so many indie ones. No one can even just do one anymore. Every project is, hey, I'm crowdfunding 4 of these. I'm making 16. The next, you're getting 1 a year for the next 12 months. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's blowing up. So
the difference being I could at least talk about these.
We could play these, right? We
yeah.
could break them out, play them. That's the difference, yeah. I don't know. These might be fantastic. I do feel like if they are fantastic, they'll probably get picked up and republished by somebody.
Yeah.
Sure.
With wider distribution, right?
Yeah, probably.
You'd be leaving money on the table if not.
All right, no one cares about this, so let's move on.
Nope.
Western Legends Stories.
Settle in.
What is this, Joey? What is Western Legends Stories?
First off, I had to change the fact. This is brand new game, right? It's not like initially I thought they'd be adding a campaign aspect to it. So this says it has the same feel with it and all that. You kind of start off with a trading post and you kind of expand out and kind of build your area.
Is this legacy or campaign or something?
Campaign. It seems like it's one of those things that you build the kind of a story. You build a story by grabbing different cards. Those cards go together, like person, scene, all that. So I'm not sure how cohesive the story is. I'm interested in. I like the Old West feel, and it's sandbox, supposed to be sandbox like the original Western Legends. So I am excited to try that.
So is it legacy or not?
I think it's campaign, not legacy.
Do you think this is more likely to hit the table being a campaign than just standalone Western Legends?
I don't
You already know the answer to that question.
know.
Thank you.
I know. I'm like, man, I'm really excited about this, but cautiously.
I love the look of this. I like that style very much. I like the idea of sort of a new jumping on point, a new idea, sort of Red Dead Redemption again from scratch.
Yes.
Right? They're tackling it again from scratch. I like that concept. I am just very cautious with campaigns at this point. There are a lot. They are very demanding. It's a big investment time-wise, especially if you want to get your money's worth, right? You're like, yeah, okay, I got to keep playing.
A lot on these cards, man.
Those are busy,
There's
yeah.
a lot of stuff here. I hope it's good. I like Western Legends a lot, but
too.
I also it just was one of those games where I was sitting around going, I wish it was Legacy. That being said, I'd be willing to try it. I'm hoping that Sandbox Legacy just means something changed and now we're playing another game in the same setting. Hey, the bank burned down. Or
I would love a Western set Legacy game.
Oh,
though.
I would too. And that's why I'm hoping. The one thing that worries me is it does do that story card thing where you know how those like creativity things where you flip over a plot, a person, or whatever. It seems like that is what happens in a lot of these stories in this.
you mean Mad Libs?
Really?
I want to say
don't think
Mad
I
Lib, but
saw
a couple
that.
of them looked like that. But then some were actually story arcs that are woven together. I don't know.
I do like the NPCs are rolling dice to use their hand of cards. That's interesting.
Yeah. They really lean into the poker thing in every Western Legends thing.
They do in every board game in the West. They're like, hey, have you ever heard of poker?
That's it. I mean, poker
It's
or
a
faro.
requirement.
Yeah.
All right, hey, more dice. Cathedral Dice. Now, these are fancy. Can you read them, though?
They're made from real cathedral.
They had to tear
That
one down.
Crimson Cathedral one is legible, and the Fallen Cathedral's a little legible. They're very beautiful. They're probably overly expensive. 3d6 for $35. That's $6 a die. No, that's $12 a die.
What about the set? I think everyone in the campaign for coins needs one of these.
D20 chonk is 65.
Keep going.
Yeah, but that's a
Set
chunk.
is 85.
There we go.
Yes, I'm all about cathedral
I
dice.
think we're all worth that, Tom.
I want my purple Cathedral
Okay,
Dice.
you're worth $85.
Oof.
Is that what you want me to say?
Sounds worse when you say it like that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't love these.
I like that one.
They're both.
Looks more legible.
I don't know how to put this, but they both look too pretty and ornate and fancy and too cheap.
Really?
They do. Like, they are clearly incredibly ornate, a lot of line work, and then they all look cheap. Like,
I don't know where you're getting that cheap from. They don't look cheap to me. They look ornate. What are you talking about?
He's just
I don't know,
anticipating
they kinda
picking them
look-
up and then being light and plastic.
yeah, they look kind of cheap. I don't know.
All right. Well, yeah, I'm not going to get these, Joey. They're neat, but they don't stand out enough to me.
Fine.
All right, let's get away from dice to a big project here, Sweet Lands.
Yeah, this blew my mind. I kept thinking, I saw this and didn't read that it was 100 to 200 minutes, by the way. And I was like, oh, okay, this is cute. Okay. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, my gosh, this is enormous.
Did you
This
see
is
the picture of the girl holding it?
The girl holding it, and the thing is like,
Go down and see it. She's about to get crushed by this box.
Well, their
she's
boxes
also
have been progressively
4'2".
right.
their boxes have been progressively getting bigger. This is from Uchibakoya, and their track record right now is
Well, yeah.
stellar, man.
Aqua Garden, Ostia. Look at that.
Look at that.
Is that possibly the same size as
Everdell?
Ostia?
Possibly. It depends how
Really?
small she
Ostia
is.
was that big?
Ostia is
It's a
sort of
pretty
that
big box.
shape. It's a pretty big box. Yeah.
Aqua Garden was normal, though, right?
Aqua Garden's fairly small,
Yeah, it was actually small.
Good, because we backed that. I'm really hoping. Okay.
You backed it back when it first crowdfunded? Because
No,
you
I
should have
played it.
gotten
I
it by
never
now.
played it. But
Wait,
she
can you
loved
back
it.
any of these games here?
You can add on at least. I don't know if you can just back those things.
You can add on.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much everything. Aqua
Okay.
Garden is worth it.
Ostia's
Ostia,
the one I've been meaning to play because it looks really cool.
It's so good. It's really good.
Okay.
And I also really like not Bremen. I haven't played Bremen. What's the one I have played?
Now you guys.
I like Biohack.
Oh, how about the card one?
Where's the other one that's not on here? The one with the ships.
Oh, right there. Pirates?
Ostia?
Is it right there on the right? On the Ostia or no?
Ostia Pirates?
No, they made another game. Why am I not thinking of it? They have 6 created here. I'll just look it up here.
No, you're imagining it.
Yeah, maybe I am imagining it.
Boom. Checkmate.
Huh. I thought they have another game.
Ostia has ships. Does that help?
Well, anyhow. I think
What do you think? So you're psyched for this then because you like the company
I am.
a lot.
Yes, their stuff is big. I don't think this looks overly complicated. I like the theme a lot. Hey, it's Sweet Lands, that sort of silliness. But
Hey, look, those.
I'm telling you,
those
this company just is on point with their stuff.
production quality looks really good.
Yeah, he's holding the box too. It looks
all right.
that looks like the same size as Ostia. Actually.
Yeah, it does. I do like seeing a company like this continue to put out bigger and heavier games and not, like sort of swing
Right.
for the fences again. Put out the big, giant, epic thing. You'll find your audience right here on crowdfunding, right? Mm-hmm. And then everything else, whatever. This is what you want to make. You want to make a game about this Candyland place meets a big, heavy Euro. Yeah, right there. That's where you do it.
And they don't hide,
I don't
they
like
say
that
it's heavy.
combination necessarily. This is not one that's really speaking to me, but
Amalfi Renaissance.
Yeah.
I guess that was they. It's a different.
it's from a.
It was a co-production with another
brought
company.
over.
That's why.
Okay,
But again,
okay.
still, that game is also fantastic. Yeah, I'm very excited about this. All right, Fable Fury, a cooperative roguelike board game. So, roguelike is now entered board gaming. This is Fable Fury. Is this? Yeah, I forgot. I meant to look this up. Is this based on an actual video
I
game?
don't think so.
I love the artwork on it, though.
I
That's
don't think
interesting
so.
then. So it's not only is it something that they've made up on their own, but it's also raising $400,000. They've managed to get people into it.
Looks good.
Yeah.
And it's funny how it's like, I'm like, okay, this takes itself seriously, but good artwork. But then it's very tongue-in-cheek on the weapons.
Okay.
You like
I
the
like
artwork?
the
You
art.
do?
I like it. I think it's very.
I really don't.
It's very.
I'd argue that it's not good. It's fine. What are you talking about?
I liked it. Was very Saturday morning cartoon artwork for me.
Also, you should never squeeze your super glue.
That's the thing.
Look at that. That is not how you squeeze super glue.
Or toothpaste or anything. It's got fanoodles in there. It's Yeah.
No, I don't know. I mean, they're called Fable Fury Studios. It's their first creative thing. I don't think this is.
So then what is making it blow up, right? I mean, it looks... I get that it looks cool and everything.
Good advertising. I don't know.
I think I like the artwork.
Yeah.
I'm alone at this table, but I mean, I just think it's cute.
And this is exactly the kind of game that would speak to video gamers.
Yeah, it's not epic artwork, but I think it's
Well,
very...
sure, you use roguelite and you're...
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah. It seems silly also. That's going to help. Not a dumb game, but a silly, kind of lighthearted one.
Right.
With a lot of moving parts. This is, complex munchkin in a way. People are eating this stuff up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I really don't like
good.
the look. I think the look is
It's too munchkin-like.
bothering me in this one. It's sort of pulling it back.
They're
for me.
YouTubers. That's what people are saying. YouTubers.
Okay, it's a
huge
YouTubers.
Minecraft YouTube channel.
Fable
So-
Fury is designed or published, I'm guessing, by a huge Minecraft YouTuber.
All right. Thanks, Chad.
Got
That makes
it.
sense.
Okay.
And that would
Appreciate
explain
that.
why it's doing so well. All right. All right, Polaris. Oddly enough, my review for this went up yesterday.
That's what I thought. I thought I'd seen this back there.
Well, this must be a wider release of it because it came out for sure. My copy was definitely production, and they were definitely this was at sale at Essen. So
Yes, right.
And what were your
I
thoughts on it?
think they are publishing.
it's okay. It's from Luciani, and I like his stuff normally, but it has this. You collect cards. You're basically drafting cards, and then you play these cards. You can see them at the bottom of the screen there to build various shapes on the board, and then you connect them, make constellations, and score. But where you can play cards is going to change each round because the outside of the board rotates. And your card might say, play in the full moon section, but that rotated this round, so now I have to play over there. Oof. Again, it's fine, but I make constellations.
A spinning board looks...
I watched the
Interesting.
sort of making patterns thing, like, look, 3 in a row, and then a little house. Haha, and the guy shows the card, and that pattern's on the board, and immediately I'm like, I'm out. I hate that kind of game.
Really?
I hate this whole
I figured this would
make
be up your
3 in
alley.
a row, make a Y. And then, but again, we're sharing a board.
Oh, yeah.
You are going to be putting crap in my way. Not even mean in a mean way. You're just trying to play. So
Yeah.
it's like, haha, I made you mess me up because the game is designed to just create this fake conflict.
Yeah.
Now, I like this company. I like their dragon game, the Sea Dragons, and the...
Oh, it's from
Oh,
that
yeah, you like
company.
that one.
They
Okay.
also
yeah.
made another game that I liked also, which they're fine. And this one isn't bad. It's just... The Sea Dragons is actually very fun. It's just okay. All right. Era of Tribes, 2nd edition, and Beliefs and Betrayals.
His page is so dense.
I love this picture here. It's like they're clearly 3 different pictures that they somehow just all slid together.
Yep. Have you played this? Is it Mike who's played this?
No, I did
Is
not.
it Age of Tribes
this.
that I'm thinking of
No,
instead of Era of Tribes?
We 100% had this box here
Okay.
for a while, and people would pick it up every once in a while, look at the back, and then it accidentally would go back on the shelf.
Right.
It just looks like too much, and not in a good way because I'm willing to play a too much game sometimes.
You came into a room last night. We were playing games here, and you asked, "Is this a Kickstarter game about something we were
You
playing?"
did.
And I said,
Very
"In that
judgingly.
case, no.
Oh, it wasn't judgy, but
This is a Kickstarter game. It looks Kickstarter in every possible way. Everything is." The graphic design is sort of muddy. The colors are not quite there. Printer's running out of ink. The illustrations are okay. The whole thing, I don't know. I'm not feeling this one, man. It's a 2nd edition. Kudos for that. I hope they tightened it up.
and I think it's doing well.
It
here,
is.
right?
I think it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's doing okay. 73,000. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope y'all enjoy it. Those who backed it. We have another game that's reminds me of this coming up later on, the pirate one.
Yes, right.
Rogue Regiment Operation Gain. This one's almost at 100,000. This is another war game from Word Forge Games. So there's airplanes here and tanks, and it's kind of odd because it both looks really simple in some ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's what... The video on this is really good. It shows a gameplay that makes me think, okay, I could do this. I haven't played the original. I guess this is an expansion?
This looks really simple.
It does.
Yeah, it kind of looks like that one infiltration one. World War II. Also, you're trying to like infiltrate some place. I forget what it's called. Something Commandos or whatever.
Okay.
Okay.
It kind of looks like that. The simple idea. I think it suffers looking at this one and looking at the earlier one we saw.
Yeah.
In the same week, I'm like, oh, the other one looks like a more engaging game.
It does, but I do like this one looks cleaner, at least the way it looks. We'll see. All right, we got many projects to go. Let's keep going. Royal Hospital. This is where the fancy people go to die. I like how they say medium Euro game. That's kind of what does that mean to people when you hear it, right?
That's kind of become a red flag for me.
Medium Euro?
Yeah.
You think they're lying one or the other?
Medium means, again, like Tom is saying, it could be anything. When somebody says, it's like a medium Euro game, I almost feel the need to grab them by the collar and be like, tell me 3 other medium Euro games. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if they're like, Terra Mystica, I'm like, it's not medium. Get out of here.
Okay, I like how this looks, actually. I don't love the cover. The cover almost looks depressing somehow.
Well, yeah.
You're going to a hospital. I think the pieces look interesting. I've always been a big fan of having a hospital where you heal people that come in and fix them up. I like that theming. I don't want to see the blood and the gore.
This looks good to me, and this is from the same company, Tom, that does Wishland.
I saw that.
I just played the new Wishland expansion. Thank you, John, for the super chat.
So
it says painted metal coins. I love painted metal coins.
Or you have your kids
pretty cool. Yeah, that's cool.
I love having my kids paint metal coins.
Raw style.
Yeah, those do look really good.
They really good, man. Yeah, I like this company, and this game I think looks really good.
Yeah, engine, tableau building. I mean, that's interesting. Building a hospital and then kind of running it through, like giving patients and stuff. Yeah, I think it looks good.
Cool.
I'm loving it, yeah.
Battle Commander Volume 1. There's a lot of war games out here, but now we're going back to Napoleon and with wood pieces. Again, this one has a very clean look to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very war game look to this one as opposed to the other two.
This one I feel like I almost need a stick to go.
That's exactly it. We all be stand up at the table.
If you are a war gamer and I don't know, like it's become so easy to have access to war games.
Yeah.
With crowdfunding. It's unbelievable. Like, I mean,
and a wide variety too.
Yeah. I mean, you get reprints from back in the day, reworked and cleaned up and souped up. You get new stuff, tons of solitaire stuff. If you're a war gamer and you don't have other war gamer friends or don't live near them anymore, it's embarrassment of riches lately. Yeah. That's really cool.
This is World War II, right?
Yes, that's when N. Bonaparte lived. All right.
Oh, is it Bonaparte? Yeah. I saw War Game, moved on.
Onoda, this is from Salt and Pepper.
This one looked good.
This is such an interesting story. Did you guys know this story before
I do not.
The game?
That's why I think I was interested.
I went down a rabbit hole with this.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. I went on Wikipedia, which is, the place to find out.
I've heard of this. The guy didn't think World War II ended.
Yeah.
So it's based on a true story.
Yes, it is. It's this guy who they dropped him off. His commanders dropped him off to, basically, do some guerrilla tactics, sort of
by himself.
He and 3 other guys. I think it was a small squad. Those guys, one perished, a couple die later on. But he did not, when the war ended, no one told him. No one.
This is like Encino Man.
It's wild. And he kept it up with guerrilla tactics, attacking, people in this island for 29 years. In the 70s.
I don't know if it's funny or sad,
it's
right?
Super sad. That's
crazy.
the thing. I think it's just it's wowing. It's mind blowing, but it's also very sad. He finally surrendered when they found his old commanding officer, and he relieved him of duty. That's incredibly sad. Wow. Isn't that wild? In 74.
That's insane.
I'm telling you.
What they said.
That's dedication.
So
this game's based on that. Are you this guy?
You are this guy. You're on the island.
6 rounds or something?
You're simulating things you're dealing with on the island. It sounds incredibly interesting.
I really want to play
That's
this.
the one thing I'll give Salt and Pepper credit for all day long. They put out some really interesting theme games, man. Like, this stuff is... It makes me go down a rabbit hole and find out about this guy. You know what I mean? Battle of Versailles. I went and found out about that fashion competition. I mean, I wouldn't have looked that up.
Yeah.
They really do a
I
good
also like the
job
look
with that.
of it. This is the same artist who just did that 2-player one that we got at Essen, isn't it? I said it looked like Tintin a bit.
Yeah, it looks like what is it?
Operation Barkley? Or
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it is.
It looks similar to that art style.
Right, I believe it is the same artist, yeah.
DNA, Habitopia, and Synthesis board games. 3 exciting science-themed games.
3 totally different style of games, too.
Well, DNA. So let's start with DNA here. Well, no, let's start with upgrades. Sorry, we'll get to the games. Here's games. DNA looks a little like...
Cascadia?
Well, you're building the little patterns right on the cards with the tokens.
Yeah.
It's hard to see right there, but, you know, you're... yeah, that seems neat. Little...
Habitopia. Cards on cards. 15 to 20 minutes is not long, though, so I'll give them that. This one's a bigger one, 45 to 75. And then the third one, Synthesis 30 to 40. This is a roll and write it, right?
Yeah.
That's the one I'm least interested in.
It looks a little bit like Trek 12.
What about the tin
To
one?
me.
The second one is a tin one. Little metal tin.
This one here? I don't care. It's just cards. It actually looks like that patch history game, doesn't it? With all the
Patch
cards on top of
history,
each other.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. This is Timashov Publishing. Let's see what else they have done in the past. It's going to be these games, right? Photo Tour. Did someone here play this one?
I don't think I've
feel like
seen that.
we either talked about it or got it in Pacific
Now, I
Ocean.
remember talking about Pacific Ocean
A lot
when
of
we
work.
covered that. I think it was like a solo card game or a small 2-player card game, and I remember it being very captivating. It looked neat.
I like the artwork. I mean, I like this DNA. I just like how that looks on it. Yeah, it does look like Cascadia, but...
Yeah, this one looks neat. That looks like a cool game.
Yeah.
All right.
It's the one catching my eye the most, for sure.
There's a lot of games this week, folks. All right, let's move on to Clans of Caledonia Industria. So Clans of Caledonia is one of those games that when it came out, did not make a huge budget initially, but grew and grew.
Medium weight.
It is not medium weight. It's actually a pretty hefty game that comes in a box the size of Pandemic.
Really?
Yeah, it barely fits in, frankly. And there's just a lot going on in this game. You're running in the Scottish economy, and you're producing resources. And I like to find his... I guess I like to... Someone gave it a seal of excellence.
it a
Wasn't me.
lot.
Well, it's been a long time since I reviewed it, too. So I'd have to go back and look through it again. I know there's people who love this game.
Right.
The people who like Lacerda games tend to like this game. It's a
So it's
hefty
that
weight
depth.
game. Yeah,
Wow.
it is. There's a lot going on in it. And this is more. This train map is something new that wasn't in the original game. So this just adds a lot more stuff to the game. The game came with grain, cheese, milk, bread, whiskey, wool. Those were, I believe, the resources in the original game. Yeah, but now he also has
Wow,
an insert.
that's-
This is definitely different than what he's done in the past.
Is this for the big box or what? Or
I
is this-
think so.
They're just not calling it that, but it kind of seems that way, right?
Okay.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
is a heavy Euro. I mean,
I want to say it's pretty highly rated on Board Game Geek.
I think so, too.
Clans of Caledonia. I want to say it's in the top 200. It's pretty high. 69.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really high.
Overall?
I did not realize in the top 100.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
very impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
Huh.
And you haven't played it. So
I have not.
how many top 100 have you played? I know, we're kidding. It's 3.
99.
All right. Captain's Log, New Horizons. This is the other game I was talking about where when I see it, I think Kickstarter game.
Yeah.
Have we played this one? Has the original one come in?
Yes. The
Yep.
original one's been on our shelf for, I think,
That's
actually,
where I've seen it. Is it still there?
No,
I don't
think
know
we
if
sent
it's
it to
still there. We
Graham.
sent it to someone, and they died.
Here's the thing. I think there's a lot of interesting things about this game, and every time I look at it, I feel tired. I don't
That's
know
where
how
I
to
was.
explain it. I'm like, it's all tan.
My
It's that
excitement level
old,
went down.
dusty paper look. I understand why But when it's the cover of the box and every piece of illustration and the map and the back of the box and the Kickstarter, I'm like, yeah, I just kind of want to.
Well, someone got it and gave it a seal of approval.
You know,
the feel.
It's probably
Okay.
Graham. And here's the thing: I don't even think it's probably very.
It's probably interesting.
A very good thing. It's just I have a hard time getting by the look.
I like a theme, but
And the double-sided chipboard looks fun.
I like those.
There's
The
also
new
like
stuff is cool. I like the new.
Megalodon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Megalodon, a storm, a whirlpool.
I know.
And
That's-
a ghost ship. I'm like, okay, now you're throwing some crazy stuff at me.
I know.
And maybe the game always was that, but it looked very serious.
Right. Now it's got the minis to back it up.
Now it's got like some silliness. Oh, Megalodon and a ghost ship, sure.
All right. Next, we have Lands of Evershade. This is the biggest project of the week because it's an Awakened Realms project, and they're always huge. Me, and Mike played a prelude to this, and you can see it on our channel and on their channel, of us going through. We were being taught the game, and we were like dumped into this world.
Right.
And kind of learning the game on the fly. So we were making a bunch of decisions. We were walking around in a town. Then we went down a well, I think.
Yeah, so the setting here.
Oh, an elevator. We fought people in an elevator.
We did, that's right. Going down a sort of hole in the earth. I think the setting here is front and center in this game. This is very much it feels to me like a story first kind of game. The setting, the vibe, the mood is going to be why you show up and play this one. And I got to say, from the little sample we got, I thought it was a really cool setting. It's a little Middle Eastern flavored, maybe a little Indian flavored. It is a science fiction, fantastical sort of universe in which the cities in this world are domed, I believe, because the sun is so powerful, it'll just destroy things. And so in this one city where we were, it's right there, there's a hole that has burnt a hole into the earth. And so when the sun rises, it drilled a hole in there.
Yeah, it's really cool.
And so at night, and there's things down there, and so at night, our party sort of went down there. That's kind of where...
I think there was
That's
someone
cool.
missing we were going to rescue. But the thing is, he showed us some stuff after we were done playing the game. I asked, like, what if we had made this decision? Like, the people we fought in the elevator, Captain America style. And
Of course.
after we were done with that, we didn't even have to do that. We could have done something else and met something else, which is my only concern about the game is there going to be a lot of content that you're paying for that you don't see.
Yeah. You could do it again. You could run it again knowing some things, because you've seen them. This is a good one for people who want that story. I like this idea of sort of putting a map on one side and a sort of a zoomed up version of that on the other side. Those two images sort of change based on where you go in the city, what you visit, what you do. There's all the usual things you expect. You have money. You can go shopping for equipment. You can level yourself up. But the story and the paragraphs were the main thing. There was a lot of that.
The story and all of that has always been spot on with Awakened Realms. I love their themes, all that stuff. How is the gameplay? Do you feel like it's streamlined? I mean, they hit all my keywords and like fight on the back of a giant beast. I'm like, oh, I love that.
Right.
Rooftop chases, all of this.
Streamline is a hard word that I don't know that I've ever applied to Awakened Realms games.
I know.
This is not as complex as
Would you be the Tainted Grail level?
Tainted Grail. It's a little lower than that, but not much. When we played, we had someone holding our hand the whole time.
Yes, that's the
and
thing.
helping
So it's
us
hard
through
to
all of
say.
it. So it is hard to tell you how difficult it was. I remember thinking there's a lot going on in this. Combat, I thought, was pretty hard. So combat, usually when you play a role-playing game, when you get into combat, you're either in one of two combats. You're either like as a group fighting a beast that's harder than you,
Right.
Yeah.
or you fight a bunch of stuff that's not as strong as you.
Right.
In this one, I felt like we were fighting people just as good as us, and we were lucky to survive.
It was a
And that was
comparable
battle
group.
one.
Yeah,
Really?
comparable group of like thugs or whatever. Yeah.
But there was things, and he was telling us there was all kinds of cool things we could have done in the battle. We could have cut the ropes for part of the elevator and dropped everyone to their deaths. But we would have had to manipulate them to all be on there and none of us to be on it at the same time.
Okay.
And things like that. But it felt like there's a lot of theme, but all that cool theme is going to come at the expense of mechanisms.
Yes.
So I don't know. I don't have any really strong opinions on it. I was very tired when we played it, and that was we only saw it that one time. We saw it, we played it, we left. So I can't. And then we see this. So
Yeah, I think the narration was very cool. There was sort of a little bit that wasn't quite dumb, but there was sort of narration you get to listen to, or you can,
that
or you
audio,
can, you can read it, I suppose. There's a whole tag system in this also, where you can have a tag, or there are many tags in play, and you'll check for those things. Do you have the tag brute? Yes, I do. I have it right here. Either because I am a brute or I've gained
And you
it
can
from
select
something.
it on the app itself. So it
No.
No. Okay.
It's just
But it will
not
change
quite.
things that happen
It's
to
not
you.
quite like Lands of Galzier level.
Okay.
It's less than that. It's just but you can. It'll sort of change which way you go with things. Yeah.
you got a cool miniature.
I will say there's a standee option. It shows that they kind of, I don't know how many of these have the standee
You
options.
also can build your character from scratch. We didn't do that. They gave us our characters already, but they were showing us. It's basically an RPG method of building your character. So
And I think that's been one of the things I've heard and sort of seen about this is that if what you want is a storybook board game, then this is maybe the one you want to check out. If you want a board game with story elements, this isn't going to give you that balance, it seems.
Okay.
You got to be in there for that reading, for that story. You got to love that setting or be, willing to be thrilled by it. So make of that what you will,
all right, a couple more projects. World Order. So this is the follow-up to Hegemony,
This
which
is also making bank.
came out of nowhere. I mean, Hegemony did very well on Kickstarter, but then after it was released, the heavy Eurogame crowd embraced it enthusiastically.
And it's got staying power, which is crazy.
Well, it's very asymmetrical, right? So it looks to me like they're making another game that's very similar, for lack of better terms. Also asymmetrical. Now, now we're talking about countries. Hegemony was about groups in a country. You had the government, and then you had the middle class and the lower class and the business class, and they were all had different things they were doing.
Okay.
Now you have America versus China versus Russia versus EU. And they're superpowers, and they're all going to have different things.
It's incredible, the first one, Hegemony or whatever, but it's the way they approach it factually. I really enjoy that. I'm interested to see what they do here.
Yeah, it was a Euro game, but the theming's really strong.
So
Right.
Like if you're
strong.
running a working class, you'd be like, we're going on strike.
Right.
Which is great, but then you're not getting any money, but neither is the guy running the factories. And if you're running the government, you can be like, hey, there's now healthcare. We're providing it for almost free. And then the guy who has all the hospitals goes, that sucks because now no one's coming to my hospitals.
But taxes would go
interesting.
up. And
Right.
it's like
and that also increases taxes, which affects everybody. It's
Move to
everything
middle
is
class.
interconnected. However,
I haven't played that game, and I probably never will, just like I probably will never play this one. They both seem to be the exact kind of games I respect and wouldn't choose to engage in because this doesn't seem to be, and I know this is reductive, but it doesn't seem to be, to me, fun. This doesn't look fun.
no, I get it. I enjoyed it, but I do say every day I go by not playing Hegemony is more time I'd have to relearn how to play it.
Yes.
Because not only do you have to learn to play the game, but you have to learn each faction's was so. I mean, we're talking
So asymmetric.
It makes Root look like a symmetrical game.
It reminds me of that one from Osprey called Crescent Moon, I think it was.
Oh, it's way more complicated than that.
It
but
kind of
yes.
had that similar idea where your faction affects another faction in ways you kind of
Okay, yeah.
can't manipulate because whatever they do sort of affects you.
That sounds like this.
I do like the tanks in this one. And the little buildings. I like having
Those are
those.
sweet.
It looks really good.
I'm excited to try
We'll
this.
probably play it once.
It's so realistic with just you go, wow, I just ran an economy.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, people smarter than me will probably play a lot more than me.
All right, Lore, 2nd edition, a wholesome fantasy adventure for your table. Now, Lore 1st edition, did anyone play
This is
that
one I went and looked up on BGG because I thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, I know I've seen this cover in the past. We must have maybe looked at Lore 1st edition. But I've never seen it. Never seen it anywhere.
No,
never seen anyone playing it. Never seen this in person. Went and looked on BGG. Not a great score. Not a great ranking. I don't know if it's the game wasn't that engaging. If it just didn't find an audience. It looks cute, but I don't know.
I like the art.
Yeah, I like the look of it. I'm surprised. I guess I'll put it this way. This second edition looks like the first one. Should be everywhere. Like you know what I mean? Like I should have heard of it. I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, second edition lore. But how did the first one come and go
without you playing it?
Not me, like anyone. You guys haven't played it either.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm not talking about me necessarily, just in general. I've never
I had to
seen
look
it
up
anywhere.
to see if it was canceled, but it was not.
It was not. It was out. Yeah.
All right. All right, our last game today is Lairs. This is from Kids Table Board Games with a big goopy monster on the front.
Did we have Sea Beast on there too? Or is that later?
Huh?
I think we missed one.
Oh, no. Our second last
There we go.
project is Lairs.
Got nervous. I might.
This is not a legacy game or a campaign game, but a secret packet. Okay, I'm glad clarify
Yeah,
that.
good.
That's clarification's good. A hungry blob eraser, which you'll never use to erase anything.
This, I love the look of this.
I really am interested in this, although
and it's.
each of their games seems to be less for kids
I
than the
agree.
last.
That's fair. That's
I mean,
fair.
they did creature comforts and they did a lot. All of them had that cover.
This is not a kid's game.
No, I will say this reminds me of like my favorite thing of Hero Quest is making a dungeon for people and then like, all right, go through this. You get to
Yes.
do that. I mean, this looks great.
This one, when I saw this, I thought of you, Joey, because I know you like those the two-player
Run
games
style,
from
yeah.
yes, from that company, from
Yes.
Run,
Flowers.
Fugitive, whatever, right?
Yeah.
From Flowers. This looks
It does.
like a game from them. I mean, obviously it has the KTBG look, their aesthetics, but it kind of looks like one of those Flowers two-player games.
It does.
You don't know
I'm
where
very
the things
interested in this
are. You
one.
gotta, yeah.
This one, and it seems on the lighter end, it's like you could then switch roles and go at it again. And the little, just building that dungeon behind you, man. Almost give you a
good.
feel that I'll play, what was the pizza one? Ghost Pizza something, whatever. I don't know.
No, it's not. Better not be like that one. That one's not good.
No, I'm saying, but the feel of that is, I wanted the idea of that. This seems like it's going to deliver.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Last game, Sea Beasts, Vikings versus Beasts, Ocean Crawler Co-op.
Not just a boss battler. Looks like you have to actually travel, get to level up. This has the whole thing. I don't know why, whether it's in Jaws or Unfathomable. The whole idea of like being on a ship and battling what's out there, that's just great. Look at this. And aside from the awesome minis in this.
Campaign again. How many campaign games can you own?
Oh, own? Oh, yeah. Oh,
As many as you
all
want.
of them.
Go
I
to
apologize
town.
for the foolish question.
It's just,
It's basically the size of your house plus your storage unit plus another storage unit, which you're about to have to get.
it just got sad. Yes.
I'll say this. I like that this is 1 or 2 players.
Yes.
Right.
That is cool.
Great.
Yeah.
You want to give me another campaign, yet another 25 plus hours of content? It's only for 1 or 2. Okay. I immediately know if I want to play games at 1 or 2 or not, if that is an accessible number or not to me, to everybody.
So this is 1 or 2 players. That's it.
That's it.
I did miss that.
That's interesting, I like the look of the minis. I like the theme, of course. One thing I don't like is the mix of these amazing miniatures and then wooden meeples. No. Pick a thing.
For the people? Yeah.
You couldn't splurge for 3 more minis? No, just make them all miniatures. I really don't like those two things mixed on a board. I think they look like I cobbled together a copy of this game.
The art is great.
That's so good.
I'm interested in this. The campaign's the thing that kind of wears me a little low on it. I would like to play singular missions, boss battler. I think that'd be fun. And maybe you can, I'd have to look through and stuff.
It calls itself an ocean crawler. It's a dungeon crawler because you actually crawl through there and you get to pick up things
You know how to
as you
sell
travel.
Joey, just change a word.
Yeah, that's it. All of a sudden, I'm like, come on.
Wow.
You've got my heart. No, it looks really good.
All right. Well, we have a few projects that are weird and strange. If you have weird and strange projects, send them to me at tom@dicetower.com. First, we're going to start with Mudita Kompakt, which is a phone that basically is, get this, it's a phone.
With e-ink.
With e-ink instead. It looks like, it even looks like an iPhone, but it's really like an e-reader kind of screen. The e-ink. It's still, I thought it looked cool. I thought, oh, this is like a bare bones phone. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
But then the more you go, the more the phone does anyway. Like, oh, and it has a music player. And it has kind of apps. So it's like, then I'm just kind of buying like a black and white iPhone at that point.
Well, but seriously, and they give a lot of stats here. Like they say employees spend 2.5 hours. You check your phone 352 times a day, and a lot
Not
of this
here,
is,
Tom.
A lot of this is true, right? There's and phones. We are on them all too much. If you cut just the internet
I agree.
out, you're going to save time. If you cut your email out of the phone,
I
that would
agree.
save you a bunch of time. Yeah, if you're reading a book, that's actually productive time anyway. I would consider.
Depends what the book is.
Sure.
I have thought about, as you guys probably have, if I had a flip phone, my life would be so much more simple. And it's just self-control is the only reason that's it.
Right. You're in line for longer than a minute. You're like, well.
That's the thing. You walk down a hallway. You're like, I just go ahead and check this while I'm walking. Yeah, this would.
It looks cool. It's the big flags, right? Red flag, that's tech.
Right.
Never seen this before. Who knows? This might work for a month. It might literally deliver and not work.
And the whole e-ink thing, like I know you like to read on your phone. I can't do that because that e-ink just looks so much better. That
I agree.
paper look to it.
Sure, but phones are getting better where they can simulate that a little bit, but I agree. The first time I saw a Kindle, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, this looks so good.
It's amazing. It looks like paper, yeah.
And it is, the battery life does last forever on those.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think there's good intentions behind it. So.
Yeah, I think it's cool.
Good intentions.
Let's talk about them good intentions.
Let's talk about Matt Lee's.
Good,
This looks like Matt Lee's from Shuts It Out.
intentions.
Would you like to play your phone?
Look at that. I really do.
Go to
Only if
1
it's
minute.
black and white, though.
Go up there. Go to that video. Go to 1 minute. You think it looks really bad now? Wait till he's. First of all, he hands it to this kid next to him to blow
and
on
she
too.
just pops it right in her mouth.
Yeah, so many gross things. All right, wait. After this guy's not annoyed at all.
Boom, they are jamming.
This is. Then he does it in his home studio. Okay, there you go. When no one's watching, which is the only place that. There we go. What is this? You
Boom,
staring at my
that's
headgear?
jamming is what that is.
That's
good.
So what he's doing here, he's just blowing. He could be doing the same thing without blowing.
That thing is connected. You can get a version of this that you don't have to plug into the phone. And
play your instrument.
It is.
See if you're drunk
You put
at
it
the
in your
same
mouth, and if you're drunk, music plays. You put it in your mouth, and you can blow on it, connected to the thing he was messing with, without being plugged into the phone. But you need like a better version that has accelerometers in it, that has all these things in it.
Okay, but so when you blow on a trumpet,
Yes.
there is. Sorry, I think there's like 5 notes you can blow without pressing any buttons.
Okay.
By simply changing how your lips are in a trumpet. That's the whole thing. That's how the sound is made. And then you press the notes, and there's combinations of the different things. But you're not just blowing. A lot of people think a trumpet, you just get up and go. No, you have to like you're blowing almost like that.
I actually thought that
learned
until this moment right here.
What is this? You're just blowing. Again, if you don't need to blow, then why are you?
I assume you can blow harder or softer. That's about it, right?
I can also press a key harder or softer.
Yeah.
But this at least looks cool.
You look good doing it. You got to admit, though, you have to admit, if you had one of these sanitized right now that you could mess with, you probably would.
Oh, this is like the Ocarina level when.
Right.
I agree.
I'd mess
It's
with
like,
it.
This
I
is
just
exactly
don't want
the
to.
same as an ocarina.
Yeah. It's like,
And if I was an electronic music musician, I could see myself very much tempted to get this and add it to my MIDI keyboard and my plugins and all that, all my crazy stuff. I just worry again, is this going to deliver and be worthwhile? Is it going to work? How long is that app going to be available? You know, these questions that you don't have an answer to.
And how much is it?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question.
30, 40.
31 for the early bird. 42 for the super early bird.
That's cheap. I mean,
something happened there. Okay.
It's also a thumb drive, which is great.
that would be cool if you could keep data on this.
All right. Zannana, the Eventbrite for tabletop and board game enthusiasts. I would not probably back this because it didn't fund.
These guys are so ambitious.
That's the problem with apps. You don't know. I remember a guy showed me one time an app that he was creating. He came by the game store and showed me one he was doing for restaurants and everything. And it had like 200 people on it. And he's like, it's going to grow. But I've never heard of it again.
No.
And you just have to get that mass. If you remember, we had the sponsorship from the Chinese one that unfortunately launched in 2020.
Yeah.
It was a bad timing. But again, they were trying to make a big push into the U.S. market.
Yeah, basically an app to bring gamers together, which is, commendable. This one... Well, they wanted $92,000, and maybe that's right. Maybe that is what they need. They do have a graphic there, but this page is a little bare bones. Doesn't give you a whole lot of information.
It's got Monopoly on there.
It's, I don't think so.
Yeah. All right. Last project of the week: the Supertiny, the smallest 65 WGAN charger ever. I thought this was pretty impressive, actually, how small that charger was.
It is small.
Because I'm a little tired of these massive things hanging off my wall.
I am always cautious when it comes to chargers and batteries. Are some of the easiest.
Fires to start?
Yeah, that. They're some of the easiest cheap tech to hide.
Yeah.
It's bad batteries, which are very dangerous, and bad chargers, which are, pretty dangerous too. Not as much as a battery, because that could explode, but, chargers.
Well, what else have these guys done? They've done
They've done some
projects.
other things. My question is this. It's Apple. If Apple can make it smaller...
Right. How can...
and efficient, right? It's not just smaller. It charges at the rate it charges, puts out the wattage you want from it. Why did these guys crack that code, but Apple, with their millions in R&D... haven't been able to make that brick smaller?
That's happened in life. That's how Apple started with two guys. I mean, I wouldn't say that's, that's not the thing. Also, do you think Apple cares about that?
Yeah, I do. They have to ship those things.
No, they don't. You have to pay for them now.
Well, they ship them to their store.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Right? They make them, they ship them. If they could use fewer components, if they can pay less in shipping weights, yeah, they would care.
This one, I know it's not apples to apples, but I bought a lot of chargers that afterwards I will touch, and I'm like, that is ridiculously hot.
Sure.
And I don't use it anymore. I'm sure this one, I'm not sure. I would hope this is not
I would consider
like that.
buying one of these just because for traveling purposes, it'd be super handy.
I know they make them. I know there are smaller ones. I just, again...
So you guys are...
Why is this so much smaller? Why... do other companies not make them smaller when they could? Is it that easy?
So English-wise, you Apple people, I have a high-speed charger that's about this size. This whole 65 GAN charger, what does it do? Like super fast to your iPhone? Does it also do a laptop or what? Like this whole charger
No, it's not a battery.
No, I know as far as charging, charges it
Depends
faster,
what
I
the
guess.
wattage that the thing you're charging takes.
I'm not even... You say you Apple people, but also this charges the DS, and actually everything I own at this point is charged by USB-C.
But my phone was, I don't know, it's
I wouldn't be bragging about your phone at all.
so good.
Alrighty, let's talk about picks of the week. Let's start with the other people.
Hey there, everybody. It's Mike DeLisio, and wow, what an episode of Crowdsurfing. So many huge games. But for my pick of the week, I'm going with Sweet Lands, the newest game from publisher Uchibakoya and designer Totsuka Chuo. This is the same designer as Ostia and Aqua Garden and Atlas Lost, and this is his heaviest game yet. I've had a chance to play Sweetlands, and it is a really thinky Euro, but with this really cute theme of sweets, and the production, it looks over the top and a beautiful. And so this is the game that I am very excited to see in its final produced form. So there you have it for me, Sweetlands. Let's kick it down to South Florida and see what they have to say.
Hey everyone, my pick of the week is going to be Sea Beast, A Bloody Voyage. Maybe it's because it has blood in the title, maybe because you're a big Viking fighting sea monsters, maybe it's all the above, but this one definitely has me intrigued. I love the idea of a boss battler that is focused in the core box on 1 to 2 players. A lot of times on these boss battlers, it feels like they're designed for 3, 4, even 5 players, and then you have a variant for those lower player counts. So a great immersive theme here where you're going to be going up against some sea beast with different powers and abilities. Because you're a Viking, you kind of have that bloodlust as you're attacking them. You get these blood tokens to give you some powerful actions and stuff like that, really kind of beef yourself up as you get that adrenaline pumping. I really like the sound of that. And honestly, I think it's at a pretty reasonable price point as well. I like seeing these kind of big, epic, thematic games coming down in price. Looking at even the pledge here with all the minis and everything, you're looking at right at $100, and that includes a couple of expansions. To me, this kind of game, I'm okay with that price point. I think it's a much more comfortable than what we've seen in the past. So thematically, I'm all over this. Gameplay-wise, I really like it. Kind of this little puzzle of going out and fighting these big epic monsters to take them down. Definitely Sea Beast, A Bloody Voyage has my attention this week.
No.
Booyaka! Booyakaya! All right, I am going with Shadow Moon Syndicates here, and I'll tell you why. I'm kind of unsure if I'm going to like this one. I guess that's true for all of them. I'm going with it because it's the most intriguing to me right now. Now, I almost picked Evershade. I've played.
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of know what that is. I think if I hadn't played, I'd be more like, ooh, sounds good. I like this world. What's going on? I enjoyed my play of that. I know I liked it. I don't know if it's one that I'll be playing through or not. But, I enjoy what I did. This one, I don't know. I can't. It's intriguing me very much. I love the look. I love the idea. This company is becoming more and more intriguing to me. The things they're choosing to produce, the games, and the look they're going with. I really am excited for that Storm Raiders game. I backed that one, which is saying a lot. And then this one, I'm also, I don't know, very cautiously optimistic. I really want to check this game out. So that's my pick, and that's the why.
Yeah. For me, this was a tough week because I like Sea Beast was great, the Flock Together expansion. Then you've got Western Legend stories.
Yeah,
but
that's a lot of stuff.
I went for one that surprised me, Lairs. Only because I love, like he said, I love these 1v1s. And I can see, if this clicks like I hope it does, I can see me playing this a lot because that's just so tactile. You're building a dungeon. The other person, you get to run through it. You switch. Okay, you do it. I mean, just the idea of that. It looks good even on your side. Man, I hope this game is good.
Has a little bit of a X and right feel to it.
It does.
Because you're sort of like drawing where you discover, oh, I hit a wall. You make your little marks and stuff. You're like discovering their dungeon over there.
Which is great. I mean, I like Stone Spine Architects only because of that building mechanism. This, you build it and you get to run through it. I just, it looks so good.
All right, and I'm going to agree with Mike here for Sweetlands.
Sweetlands.
Just, again, this company has done no wrong so far, and I also really like this theme. Yeah, I love playing the old Transport Tycoon.
Yeah.
And you can change it to Candy World. It's so dumb. It's the exact same thing, but you're delivering cotton candy instead of coal and things like that. I'm always amused by stuff like that. I know it's just an overdone thing on top.
It's a pain. It's a sort of layer, yeah.
The production,
and I like the art, and of course, it's going to be a good game. Just
nice. These pocket games are great.
These pocket games. This is wallet games. Stocking stuffer. All righty. Well, speaking of stocking stuffer, if you missed last week, we put up our 12 Games of Christmas series.
A lot of them.
And if you like all of our stuff and you want to see more, then you can there's a little bit extra on our Patreon channel. We have a Patreon where you can, if you want to back the Dice Tower on a monthly basis, you'll find some behind-the-scenes footage that Joey recorded, I think.
I did. I haven't sent that to you, have I?
We do need to post it, yeah.
I'll put up there.
So, so check all that out. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll be back live tomorrow morning with Smorgasbord, and then tomorrow afternoon with our top 10 Push Your Luck games.
Boom.
Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia.
And I'm Joey Evans.
See you next time.
Build a dungeon.
Hey folks, thanks for joining us for that video. If you haven't yet, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hey, make sure you check out what's happening, where I'll cover an app on an iOS or a Switch device, and you can check it out along with me. Thanks very much. You've been watching The Dice Tower.